3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome.
Yo, dudes!
No, well, welcome to Student Dinners. We're going to do a full series about this. It's really cool. So this is a spaghetti we're going to cook in 10 minutes. It's designed for students, so it's quick and easy.
Spaghetti Bolognese. And in it, we're going to show you just simple little methods in terms of cooking skills to make your student dinners taste that much better.
Yeah, it costs us €4 to buy all the ingredients, and it's going to take us 10 minutes to cook. So it really is quick and easy.
So first step, we're going to put our pasta on to boil. So we're going to cook 300 grams of wholemeal spaghetti. Use white if you prefer white, but wholemeal will just have higher fibre content and be better for you. So I've got 3 litres of water that is boiling. So I'm going to take a good pinch of salt. You know, that's about a teaspoon of salt. Ideally your pasta is cooked in the same degree of salinity the water. I have 300 grams of pasta, hold it in and just shoom. So that pasta is going to take about 6 to 8 minutes to cook. So while that's happening, we're going to make our sauce.
Beautiful. Okay, so next step, we're going to get our bolognese sauce on. So I've got a wide bottom pan. Wide bottom is much better because you got more surface area to brown your vegetables and imbue more flavour in them.
That's weird,
wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to go with about a tablespoon of oil into the
If
pan.
you want to make it lower in fat, just don't use any oil, but the oil is going to make the surface temperature rise higher, encouraging more browning, but you can cook fine without oil.
I've got 1 red onion I prepped and 2 cloves of garlic. And we're just going to fry this off for probably 3 to 4 minutes until it starts to brown.
1 red chilli. We're going to include the seeds. The seeds and the white membrane inside is where the heat is. So obviously don't include the seeds if you don't like it hot. So I've got 1 chilli, including the seeds, in it goes. So in terms of vegetables for our sauce, we're going with mushrooms and carrot. So we've grated 1 single carrot. Mushrooms, we want to put them on the pan to fry because they're more important than mushrooms cooked than a carrot. So with our mushrooms, just chop them nice and kind of finely.
These are chestnut mushrooms, but use any type of button mushroom, whatever you can find. These were on special in the store earlier. Okay, so the onions and the garlic have started to brown. They're nice and kind of caramelized and they're starting to turn translucent. Steve's prepped all the mushrooms. We literally chopped them nice and bite-sized, and we're going to add them all in and fry them down to reduce.
So with frying, the heat source is coming from the bottom of the pan. So what we really want to do is really try to get our mushrooms down to the base and try to get our onions kind of more up towards the top.
And then just leave them sit for a little bit.
So while you're cooking pasta, obviously never stir it. Well, can you see the little line in there? In Ireland, we have a habit of overcooking pasta. In Italy, they like to cook to al dente, which means to the bite. There should be a little bit of bite to it. I'm going to drain it. I'm going to give it a rinse and keep a little bit of the pasta water.
Okay, so one thing which I find really important is try to leave the mushrooms down. Once you leave them and not stir them for a little bit, they're going to much more likely to brown. So I'm going to leave them for a minute and then stir them every minute or so. But it means that you get nice kind of browning, the start of caramelization, and kind of char, which is really important for flavour. Okay, so now that we've kind of fried them down, I'd say it's been another 5 minutes and they've reduced right the way down. We're going to go in with carrot. We've literally grated 1 carrot. This is going to add a sweetness to the tomato sauce, which is going to offset the acidity. So we've got 1 full organic carrot. We've just grated it. And Steve's going to go in with a good pinch of salt, which will help break down some of the cell walls of the carrot and release some of its moisture and sweetness. Okay, so we fried this down for another 4 minutes, I'd say. Now this might be a 12-minute spaghetti, but the flavours are delicious now. We added a decent pinch of salt and it's banging with flavour. Like, it is full flavour imbued. Woo! If you can afford to have some basil, great. And if you can't, don't worry. You could pick some wild parsley or something grown in the garden. A simple way of incorporating or maximising flavour and minimising waste is incorporate all the stalk. It's actually Zero Waste Week this week, I learned.
Okay,
so,
yeah. So take the stalk and just chop it really finely. And through chopping it finely, you're going to help it just imbue. While we're using this word imbue.
Look at all this flavour. Like, look, see, there's nice char, there's caramelization. Like, that is just banging with
even
flavour.
The carrots just taste. Oh.
Really does. It all tastes like more. It's delicious. Okay, so in goes the basil. So now it's time to turn our spaghetti bolognese, really make the sauce on it. We're going simple. We've got 1 tin of chopped tomatoes and we've got 1 tin of lentils.
We've drained and rinsed them. So in goes cooked lentils. We went with cooked brown lentils. It's going to add a nice meatiness. It's going to up the protein content and add a nice bite to it.
That's a 400 gram tin, which is probably 250 gram net weight of cooked lentils.
Tin tomatoes can be a little bit acidic, so I'm going to balance the acidity with a little bit of sweetener. In this case, I'm using rice malt syrup. Use whatever you have. 1 tablespoon.
So you might use maple syrup or agave,
and if you don't have any, use sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
Sugar will work. Whatever you have.
Okay, so now it's perfect. Like, it's come to temperature in probably 2 minutes.
And if it is looking a little bit kind of dry. We're going to put in a little bit of pasta water. Just
Or if it's starting to stick to the bottom of the pan, we can use it to deglaze. Okay, so now it's time to add our noodles and bring the whole dish together.
And we're going to season it. So we've our 300 grams of cooked pasta, also known as spaghetti, not noodles. Yes. It goes. We've got our basil. Use whatever you have. I'm going to go in with a good bit of basil. Whole leaves in there.
You add a little bit of pasta water again.
Yeah, a little bit of pasta water. It is hot now, just be careful.
Okay, so there you have it. All that's left to do is to taste and season. So obviously basil, a little bit more basil is going to work fantastic as garnish.
In terms of seasoning, okay, there's the 5 basic flavors. There's salt, there's sweet, there's acid, there's bitter, and there's umami. Obviously, umami is going to come from tomatoes and mushrooms. They're one of the few sources in just raw vegetables. We have saltiness came from that. Acidity came from the tomatoes. Umami we have. Bitter, we're not really going to have bitter.
That does not taste like a €4 dish. That tastes fantastic. I'd say that serve 5 people. I'm going to go with a decent pinch of black pepper. I just love a bit of black pepper. I think it goes really well. And a tiny little bit more salt.
And if you do want to be, make it a little tiny bit more indulgent, get some nice olive oil and just
give a tiny little mix to it. But there you have it, fantastic, delicious.
Simple,
yummy.
It did take us about 12 minutes, cost us €4, really tasty, simple student dinner. It'll feed 4 to 5 people, typically it'll feed 2 really hungry people. It would feed 4 less hungry people and 5 people who...
A family of 5 if this is including young children. But yeah, firstly, just wanted to say thanks for being part of this community. We really appreciate it. Without you, we wouldn't be shooting any videos. Leave a comment below if you do cook this, what you think of it, if you'd ever cook it, and please share with any of the students that you know that you think would cook
Lovely
this.
flavour.
Yeah.
Ciao, grazie, buongiorno.
Ciao bellos.
Ciao.